Yeah, these are all original factory. Look at that. What's up, everybody? So today I have some lower control arm bushings that are really bad. I think they're stock from 2001. I'm going to put in some gently used parts that I had just laying around in my shop. So I'm putting on lower control arms on the rear of my TJ. It stretches it about a half an inch, not much, just enough to get the angle geometry right, but I don't have the uppers for it, so still kicking the factory upper control arms. But going to start today with just doing that. Just a heads up, I'm a career video person, not a mechanic at all. I mean, I literally just picked up a wrench and started playing with this about 4 years ago and just kind of learned and taught myself to weld and everything. So yeah, so take it easy on me if I do something wrong. But yeah, let's crawl into the Jeep and see what we got going on. Before we go into the Jeep, it's only a 21 millimeter on all 4 bolts. So the first thing we're gonna do is get under there and make sure everything's moving before we take everything apart. And that one bolt, it's always that one bolt. Before I built the front end, I had these right here on the front of my TJ, and they've taken a few hits, and they're probably less than 10,000 miles on these bushings. So I'm gonna trust that they're gonna be better than what's under there. You'll see what I mean when we get there. But yeah, everything's a 21 millimeter, 21 socket, breaker bar, ratchet. And I've got a jack there. The jack is there just to put underneath the pinion, and if the holes don't line up, I can either go up with it or down with it to help line up the holes. I'm hoping that works. At least that's the idea. It looks like it'll work. But anyway, yeah. At least it moves. Last bolt. Let's make sure it moves real quick. Oh, I felt it move. Boy. Oh. Fuck. Yeah. Well, it is what it is. I had to lean into it. Wow, it worked. Hey, there you go. I've already loosened the other side up, so I'm gonna go ahead and just keep on rolling with this side. This bolt was barely moving and starting to get kind of bound up, so I'm just gonna tighten it back up real quick, clean those threads out. Yeah, see, it's just get rusty on the end. So, woo, watch your face. All right. A little bit of that PB blaster to lube it up a little bit. Makes it messy though and stink. Boy. Look, you got it right on my hand right when I said it. Takes a lot of that stress out of it, or you don't risk popping a bolt. Done that before. So this basically keeps the temperature down on the threads. The friction keeps the temperature down, lubricates, and overall does a good job. Came off clean. Look at that. Look at those threads. I don't know if you can see it. Those threads are nice and pretty and clean. I gotta get a little tapper hammer. I'll be right back. There. Bought this hammer for $5 at Ace Hardware. The first time I used it, the head broke off. I mean, actually, I was building the 44 front, but yeah, it shattered inside here. So I just took a drilled it all out, and then put this on, hammered the head on, put sheetrock screws in here, and then put JB Weld in there. I've had it over 2 years now. I don't use it on anything heavy to whack on, but something like this where you just need to tap a bolt, it's beautiful, perfect. All tools aren't necessarily meant for what they're sold for. This was sold as a thing to dig up the roots of like dandelions and stuff in your yard, but I think it works pretty good as a little pry bar. I don't want to bang on the thread, so I'm just going to actually just thread this sucker out. Obviously misaligned a little bit, but that's okay. We'll get to that here in just a little while. We'll have it. Always put the head nut back on the bolt. Okay, so that one's loose. This one should be easy now. Ah, super easy. These don't go up like this, although I wish they would. They actually go in like this. Let's get this old one out real quick. All right. Yeah, these are all original factory. Look at that. The bushings here. Yeah, they've got a little bit of wear, but I'm not worried about that at all compared to this. But yeah, this is the difference in the bushings. These are 20 years old now. We're gonna take those and toss them out, and we're gonna use these 3-year-old. Oh man, that slides in beautiful. Let's do the top one first. You know what? Look, somebody's been wheeling kind of hard here. I'm gonna show you how we're gonna fix that real quick. To bend heavy metal like this, I usually take a 15-inch crescent, open it up a little bit, put it on here. And this is simple physics, just leverage. Using the tire as a brace, I can get in here and give it a good little tug and tug. When I take that bolt and squish it back together, it should close the gap if I opened it too much, and I think I did, but we're not worried about it. How simple that bolt came out of the bottom there. All right, let's start with the topper here. You may remember which way it went. I am going to clean these up real quick. Just dry them off. You know, my dad was a cabinet maker whenever I was growing up, and he always took my old clothes and my brother and sister's old clothes, and I didn't appreciate what he was actually trying to do there, and that's just work without getting dirty. It's a huge advantage to living with a little girl that's growing up fast. You got my share of old clothes that I can use as old grease rags. I'm gonna go ahead and just get that started. I'm not gonna tighten up anything yet. Just get it started on there. We're gonna have to go back and put some blue Loctite on it in a minute, so I'm not even gonna tighten it all the way. But we wanna go ahead and get this on here. And as you can see, holes aren't quite lining up like I'd hope. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side and get it sitting like this. Now that I know that everything lines up and fits, at this point I'm just gonna do a fast time lapse of me doing the other side, taking it off, and getting to this point like we are here. They're a little worn, but I'm not worried about it for this old Jeep. Not until I go to a 4-link rear. I can't do the 4-link rear until I go to a smaller gas tank, because when I go to a 4-link rear, I'm going back 9 inches. Anywhere from 9 to 11 inches. But that's all down the road, 2 or 3 years. I got a house I'd rather buy first. Alright, so these bushings have seen some better days. So if you're driving around and your bushings are starting to look a little bit cracked, take care of it now. It's going to cause twists and all kinds of things that you don't really want to deal with. So I've got the jack to where I'm going to put it against this, so it's going to pitch back as the front of that pinion yoke at the drive shaft drops down. Show you what I'm talking about. So I'm going to come off the jack a little bit here. You see it starting to roll forward. Fingers clear. If we take our hand, I don't know if you can see it, but we're gonna take our hand on the back side of the wheel here and rotate forward. We can kind of push it into place. See if we can get that bolt in there. So yeah, it's not quite lined up just right, so I'm gonna keep my hands clear and kind of rock this bolt into place. But I don't want to mess the threads up, so as I'm rocking and working it, I'm trying to get that backside to line up. There he goes. Had to rock the living poo-poo-poo out of it. All right, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and cut my finger open on a piece of metal. That looks like torque to spec. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to get some longer or adjustable upper control arms to kind of push this back. It's sitting like this, but I want it sitting more like that. So the rear end, putting these in, has caused that axle to rotate forward just a little bit. So essentially I'm stretching it. These take it back to a factory setting. All right, well, that pretty much about wraps this one up. So I'm gonna take it down the street, drive it, make sure nothing's popping, banging, booming, or flying off the side of the road or whatever. It should feel a lot more solid because those bushings are bushing. With that, I wouldn't mind if you liked, subscribed, and shared. We're a slow growing, fully organic. I don't advertise anywhere, so I'm just hoping somebody gets something or enjoys it or kills some time watching it. This isn't for educational purposes. This is just to give me something to do. So I'm sharing with you guys. If you want to watch it, cool. If not, that's fine. But if you like it, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with some of your friends, because we do a lot of stuff like off-roading, and I'm gonna get into a lot more of the just doing maintenance on this old Jeep, because everybody's got these new Jeeps, and Ford Bronco's about to blow up on the YouTube pages. So I'm gonna keep it old school with the old TJ, do a little bit of work. I'm starting to think I'm gonna get rid of this muffler and maybe put in a glass pack. I don't know, it's a 4.0, so who knows, it could sound bad, it could sound good, I don't know. Anyway, have a good night. I don't know if I've ever shown this to anybody really, but we got these 24th scale remote control Jeeps, and so my daughter's been picking up rocks everywhere we go, so we decided to display them out here. My daughter and I got into playing with RC trucks and four-wheel drives, and Axel has these 24 scale bad boys, and this one's hers. She really wanted Bronco. What is this one called? The Deadbolt. I got the white one, trimmed up the fenders, painted the wheels, painted the hard top black, just made it my own. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna leave this video out today with a little bit of this obstacle course we've got in our garage, so check it out.